Your declarations weren't for them, but the impact of ignoring them will be a lesson they will not forget. Number 4. They thought they could outgrow you, only to realize you were the standard they could never reach. They were convinced that stepping away from you would automatically place them above you. They treated distance like a ladder, believing all they had to do was climb far enough away from your presence to claim superiority. They acted as if proximity to you was the only thing keeping them from becoming greater. But here's where the truth blindsides them. They didn't rise by walking away. They simply removed themselves from the very environment that was elevating them. Your presence wasn't competition, it was calibration. Being around you forced them to confront their weaknesses, sharpen their character, and elevate their work ethic. Without you as a silent reference point, their growth stalled. They thought removing you from the picture meant removing accountability, only to discover it removed their direction. They tried to outperform someone who had never been in the race with them. They weren't trying to surpass your achievements. They were trying to outrun the discomfort of knowing you had something they couldn't fake: authenticity, depth, and inner truth. As you continued evolving, they faced the shocking reality that the distance they created did nothing but highlight how stagnated they truly were. Every year, every milestone, every elevation you walked into made their decision look more foolish. They call it outgrowing you, but what they were really doing was shrinking away from their own inadequacies. Their pride made them believe they were expanding, but your growth exposed that they were only stretching the illusion, not the truth. Now the humiliation settles in. The person they once tried to downplay has become someone they secretly study. The one they assumed they could surpass effortlessly is now standing on a level they cannot touch, no matter how much they mimic, compete, or pretend. And the sting is deeper because you never chased them, compared yourself, or tried to keep them close. You just lived, grew, and aligned with who you were meant to be. Their embarrassment comes from realizing that they didn't outgrow you. They outgrew their ability to hide the envy they hoped you'd never notice. And now the very guidance they once dismissed from you has become the direction they desperately need, but are too ashamed to request. Number 5. Their humiliation comes from understanding. They didn't misjudge you. They misjudged themselves. The crushing reality for them isn't that they got you wrong. It's that they got themselves wrong. For years, they walked around with an inflated sense of their own abilities, believing they were smarter, faster, stronger, or more capable than everyone in their path. You weren't even part of the equation in their self-assessment. They simply assumed their own measures of success and influence were untouchable. Watching you step into your power shatters that illusion. Every confident move you make, every milestone you reach, and every calm assurance you carry forces them to confront a truth they weren't prepared to face. The version of themselves they thought existed is imaginary. They see now that they weren't measuring you. They were measuring their own ego against an imagined standard. Their misjudgment wasn't about underestimating you, it was about overestimating themselves. And that realization is brutal because it comes with no excuses, no shortcuts, no room for denial. The person they assumed they could quietly surpass or control has become a mirror reflecting all the gaps they refuse to acknowledge. Their humiliation is not rooted in envy alone. It's rooted in the recognition that they were never as untouchable as they believed. What intensifies the embarrassment is that it's not just a one-time shock. Every time they witness your growth, your consistency, or your calm authority, they are reminded of the truth they've been avoiding. They can no longer rely on their old narratives to protect their ego. Their confidence in themselves erodes because it was never grounded in truth. It was grounded in fear of being less than what they projected. And the sting of it all is subtle, but relentless. They realize they weren't superior, they weren't in control, and their judgment was flawed from the start. They weren't wrong about you, they were wrong about their own place in the world. That's the part that breaks them quietly and completely. The truth that they underestimated your power while overestimating their own, and that miscalculation leaves a mark far deeper than any confrontation ever could. Number 6, they're embarrassed. Because you didn't become who you said you'd be. You were already that person in